Good morning. It is Monday, December 12th. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. I am Sade Campbell, the Strategic Enrollment and Social Media Manager here at Houston Community College. Joining me today is Diana Barrero Burgos, who is HCC Southeast Communications Director. She's my co-host today, and she's going to tell everyone how to find Up to the Minute online.
Buenos dias, Sade. Good morning, everyone. We are live on Houston Community College District Facebook page and YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and on HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m., Monday through Friday.
And you know what today is, right, Diana?
It is Monday. Mental health.
It is 1 week from holiday break, okay?
That too. I'm actually dancing of joy and just thinking about 2 weeks off.
Yes, this week is giving. Don't give me anything new. It's giving. It's 2023. Don't ask somebody else to do it. That's what I'm feeling like this week.
Exactly. I share your same sentiment, girlfriend. So we're on the same page.
Yes. Well, in addition to a week away from winter break, today is also Mental Health Monday, our last one of the year. We're discussing pet adoptions, which at this time of year can be just what the doctor ordered. We are going to speak with Rene Vasquez, the Director of Animal Service Department at Fort Bend County Health and Human Services. Good morning, Rene.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Good morning. Well, Diana's going to be with you in just a second. We're going to kick things off to talk about what is also big on everyone's calendar this week, and that is graduation. And who better to give us all the details than the guy who is planning all of the vibes, moments, celebrations going to be happening directly at commencement. Welcome back to the show, Karl Mays, who is HCC Central Student Life Coordinator. How you doing, Karl?
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. It's an exciting week, and I second that with Diana and yourself. Listen, it's the last week. We might as well go out with a bang. One of the things I always say, even on this show, bring your smiles, leave your frowns somewhere else, right? So it's an exciting week. We're gonna make sure we cheer these students on, as they move into another adventure into their life, but we're gonna also have some fun while we're doing it. So, y'all know what my motto is: show your teeth while you got them, because you might be putting them on the nightstand after a while.
Oh my God, that's two sayings right there. Show your teeth while you got them, or they're gonna be on the nightstand. And what was the other one? Leave your frowns.
Leave your frowns somewhere else. Bring nothing but your smiles. We want euphoric energy around here. So this is a happy Monday. I'm happy to be here. My motto is: if you see me, I'm good.
All right. We're gonna have to get that on the calendar or something. You got how many mottos you got, Karl?
I got a lot of them.
All right. Well, the countdown to commencement is on. So let's kick things off by letting some know and reminding others about the ceremony details of who, what, when, where, all of that good stuff.
Well, the biggest thing is to be able to know that graduation is this Thursday. For those that didn't know, everybody that's probably a part of it is already up on it, because I think we send enough reminders, through HCC. But it is Thursday. This coming Thursday at 8:30 is their check-in time, but it's going to happen, starting that morning when they walk across stage. I think 10 o'clock is what we say it is, and one of the things we want to make sure we do is to be able to remind everybody, especially those that are listening that are actually walking across that stage, your arrival time is 8:30, so you want to make sure you're there on time. And we had to do a little something different this year on guest limits. I'll wait till you probably get to that. But at the same time, yeah, I think we are at capacity this year. That's exciting. We got a lot of people coming.
We do. And, in an effort to give more graduates the opportunity to walk across that stage, we ran into, unfortunately, having to figure out how we stay in code with the fire marshal. And that leads to what you alluded to, which is about the guest limits that we want to make sure graduates know.
Yeah, so this year is really important. The update thing that we have changed this year than we did in the past is we have a 4 guest limit, and that's basically, in an effort to be able to give more graduates an opportunity to walk, participate in the ceremony. That challenge with that is because, we want to make sure we're inside of code as it relates to the fire marshal and fire hazard and things of that nature. So it is a 4 guest limit for each graduate, it would definitely, ideally afford the students an opportunity to have all their loved ones present. But, we have to make sure that we allow everybody that equal opportunity to be able to have, a partial amount of their families. Because, some of us got some big families. And if we just say, hey, I'm graduating Thursday, everybody come, right? Because it means we're going to hang out, we're going to eat afterwards, things like that. But we have to let them know, as far as inside of the actual venue, you're limited to a four guest minimum.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you gave some good tips and reminders for our grads that are preparing. So you said the check-in time was 8:30, and then what do they need to check in?
Well, basically, they'll be able to scan their grad pass, in which they should have received, on their phone. Most importantly, no matter what, they had to do that by the deadline. So if they haven't done it, technically, you're behind the 8 ball. But it also, if you have any questions about parking, the parking basically, you can go to hccs.edu /commencement, and you want to make sure you find out what that is and how the bag policy is and things of that for safety reasons. So yeah, that's kind of it. Be able to check in and use their grad pass, from their phone or either a printed version. They can either print it out or use it from their phones.
Right, absolutely. So check-in time is at 8:30. Come in your cap and your gown, get checked in. But the ceremony doesn't start to 10, and that in between time is when student life has all their good stuff planned. So what can they expect?
Well, quite a bit, Sade. I think that, one of the things we are always saying that people are challenged with, because it's in such an early morning, I believe in getting the vibes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people look for breakfast. Some people like to go work out. Well, at the end of the day, we're going to definitely have some music. We're going to have photo booths. It is an exciting morning. So hopefully, people are not, so tensed, and so much anxiety that, they don't know how to be able to relax, release, and, let loose. But one of the things we want to let them know is to be able to have a great time, still, I know they feel like they look great or whatever the case may be, but we want them to bring those smiles. We have definitely some photo booths. We have recreational sports, have something they can do in order for them to just kind of loosen up and participate. I think they're going to have the giant chess. We may even have, a surprise guest that may give away, a painting of somebody. He may do it while we're having a great time right there in the center of everybody. So I'm kind of working that out now. But listen, just make sure you're there. If you're there by check-in time, you get the full, full excitement of being able to engage. If you are going to be running late, then, just to know, we'll be lining up around 9:15, 9:20. So if that is the case, to be able to let you know that, you want to make sure you have a time to be able to kind of let your hair down. You got about a good 45 minutes to an hour, right? But we are going to have a great time with that. We're going to do some dancing. We may even do some line dancing. But the biggest thing is a lot of it will be organic, but it will definitely be something to be excited about before you all walk into, that arena.
All right. Well, sounds like a day party to me.
Yeah.
What you
or a morning day party. Yeah,
a morning day party. So and for those who have not gotten that cap and gown, which is required, our bookstores, the schedules to the bookstores published online. Make sure you get to that bookstore during those open hours to get that cap and gown. And one of the main questions I always get is, anxiousness around the day is like, okay, well, what can I expect when I get there? Do I have to know to do something special? What should they expect around after they go through their day party and it's time to line up?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, after walking, if we're talking about after walking across stage, I mean, they just basically be directed back to their seats and making sure there's no disruption or anything like that. But if we're talking about before we go in, just bring your smiles, bring the euphoria of and excitement of being able to finish something. One of the things we say is people are great starters. However, in life, people are horrible finishers. I don't care if it's from leases, car notes, rent, credit, relationships, whatever the case may be. People are great starters, but they're not great finishers. We are celebrating them finishing a journey and moving on to the next thing. So this is a finished time to celebrate. So just know you are being celebrated. This is about you. We want to make sure you have fun. We have a few things in line before you go in. When you go in, that euphoria you will carry with you. Be able to be celebrated by, some of the administration and some of the faculty and staff. This is a great time, and your family's there. Just make sure you just come to be able to have a great time. Be dressed appropriately, as it relates to the cap and gown. And yeah, this is your day. We're going to have a great time.
Awesome. And this guest limit for those, especially those of us with big families, they may want to know how else can they celebrate the graduates without technically being there.
Well, I know we have a live stream. The one thing that I'll say about, the live stream, they can always view it online. They can go to hccs.edu/live, LIVE, and they'll be able to check it out there. So for the family members that are not, able to be invited inside of that that 4 people limit, you can definitely check it out, hccs.edu/live, and definitely do it. And they can also be able to go on to the, what we have is a kudos board, something that allows people to congratulate our grads. And they can do that by posting on that board. And to get there, they go to hccs.edu/commencement on there. And it's the kudos board. Go on there, say your blessings to your loved ones, and definitely, that's something memorable, and people can take screenshots of that and be able to kind of have that, as a memory.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, grad. You will see Karl in all his full energy,
full effect,
as getting you in the zone, ready to celebrate what you finished. I love how you framed that. Thank you so much, Karl Mays, Student Life Coordinator for HCC Central, for sharing all the details of the commencement. We'll have information posted after the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, I'm going to kick it over to you, Diana.
Thank you so much, Sharday. I know it's going to be a party this Thursday. I'm so excited. Are you going to be there, Sharday?
I got it on my calendar. We're going to make
okay, because I'll be there for sure. And I can't wait to see all those wonderful graduates just coming across the stage. But okay, so we have to move on. We have with us Rene Vasquez, Director of Animal Services for Fort Bend County Health and Human Services. Thank you so much, Rene, for being here with us. We welcome you to the show. Last week for Mental Health Monday, we heard that stroking a pet can release endorphins. So we thought it was a great time to adopt a pet this year. So we'll talk about a little bit of your event in just a moment. But first, let's talk about some statistics, because these are very important. I'm a researcher, so I like numbers and statistics and all that good stuff. But according to the Human Animal Bond Research Institute, it says that pets can alleviate worries, stress, and depression. They provide a sense of security and routine. They can also provide a distraction and disruption from the distressing symptoms, such as suicidal thoughts. Imagine that. And finally, they can facilitate routine and exercise for those who care for them. Now, I am a pet owner, and I have to say, my pet and I, we love to sleep. So I don't know about the last statistic, because I just cuddle with my pet, and that's it. I just go to sleep with her. But can we say anything else? I mean, having a pet is, for me, is an amazing experience. And I know owning a pet is really good for other people, especially for those who are listening to us today. So let's talk about where folks can actually get a pet this weekend. So Rene, tell me about the Fort Bend Home for the Holidays adoption event.
So yes, and thank you for having me on. And yes, and you're right on all the statistics that you were saying. It's definitely true. During COVID, we saw a lot of people come to the shelters and take animals. And since they were home, it was a lot of craziness where you couldn't really leave your home. So having a pet to occupy you, with your time, and even if it was for sleeping, maybe you could cuddle. Just if you think about it, you just kind of puts you in another mindset, when you have a pet, and it keeps you busy, because as a pet owner, you have to take them out, you got to bring them in, you got to feed them. So the distraction is definitely there. So yes, so thank you for that. And yeah, absolutely. Talking about the holiday adoption event that we're doing this Saturday. So we are really, really excited. It's going to be at the Fort Bend County Fairgrounds, Building B. Can't miss it. It's one of the first ones. It's really cool. It's a free parking. It's right up front. It's going to be indoors, so no matter if it's raining or if it's super cold, we're going to have all of our pets indoors. So it's going to be nice.
Great. Oh my gosh. I live in Fort Bend, so I'm quite excited to be there with you guys, celebrating the holidays and also looking at those wonderful pets out there. But tell me, what prompted Fort Bend County Animal Services to create such an amazing event and also invite the other city shelters in the county to participate?
Yeah, so I kind of just sat here and, we're going through a time right now where all of our shelters are so full. It's extremely frustrating that we can't get them out. It's not just here in Fort Bend. It's a national thing that's going on throughout the country. So as you know, we're an open admission shelter. So the animals we pick up all day long, and then comes the other process, right? Now what we do is get them fixed, get them vetted, give them their shots, and if the owner don't come through, then we'll try to get them adopted. So with us being so full, we figured, what, maybe this would be a great thing. Instead of adopting here at the shelter, let's try to do something somewhere else and promote and reach out to the community to see if they're out there. Maybe someone's looking for a pet during the holidays, or has been wanting to adopt a pet here in the future, and this one might be a good opportunity. And utilizing the other shelters, we are the biggest shelter in Fort Bend County, but we do have 4 smaller shelters throughout the city, which is Missouri City, Stafford, Sugar Land, and Rosenberg. But with that being said, they also struggle. They have a lot of pets as well. Their capacity is a lot smaller, but I mean, if you have 10 cages and you have 12 dogs, and you're over capacity. So we figured, let's reach out to our friends and see if we can put a big adoption event, and hopefully, we can do all well.
You're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, I go to the one in Sugar Land, and so I understand capacity levels. And I can hear some of the doggies in the background barking. They are so cute.
I apologize for that, but my window's right towards the area here. So I'm like, oh, great. Of course they're going to bark while we're doing this.
Oh, no. I think it just adds to the segment, actually. So you did talk about some of the importance of working together with other shelters. What other partnerships are you guys looking at? Have you reached out to the city of Houston? And especially in Fort Bend County, how can you guys work together to really maximize some of the space issues, since you've been talking about being already full as it is?
Yeah, so we do. We have a monthly meeting with Houston Pets Alive. They're a big organization out of Houston, and they kind of gathered all of the shelters, the big main shelters throughout the Houston area and Fort Bend County area. And all we do is collaborate, and try to think, how can we stop the pet intake, where making a responsible pet owner, these animals will stop coming into the shelter. I'm sorry to have to go that route, but we just always see it like they're all strays, these animals, but at one point they all belong to someone. They just can't tell us their story. And unfortunately they end up at the shelter. And, if they don't have a collar or tags or even a microchip, which is the big deal for us, we just can't get them back home. So we're all communicating, we're all talking, we're all seeing how we can do more low-cost spay and neuter, keep the population down. How can we do more microchips for the community? That way, if an animal gets picked up, this animal gets scanned for a microchip, bam, it shows the number, and we know it belongs back to you. We'll take that animal. We deliver animals back home. I don't think any shelter runs anymore like your old, just going out there and looking for dogs and picking up. We do not want any dogs here. We're not about picking up animals anymore. We are the local rabies authority, but for picking up strays and stuff, if we know where that animal lives, if somebody points a direction, we will go over there and we will knock on their door. We will gently hand them their pet back, try to help you fix your fence, whatever it takes, because there's just no more room. There's no room here, and we struggle with that.
I see. I completely understand that. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is your adoption process, and if you have to go that route. But how do you determine which candidate goes with which pet, and also the mental health that goes with it? Do they make a good pair? So is there like a process that you guys have to really kind of weed out some of the people that don't quite match with the animals?
We do. Our process is pretty simple. You come in, There is times where you already have seen something that you want to meet, a specific animal. So we'll come and we'll introduce you to that pet. We have 6 different play yards outdoors. We do meet and greets with families. We do meet and greets. We even tell someone, let's say if you were interested and you mentioned you have a dog, we would say, hey, we'll bring your dog and let's make sure. And so we'll go through our different techniques that we have to make sure that the 2 dogs can be compatible. And then, if it's a match, then we know it'll work. There's times where our dog may be way too much for you, and we'll go and we'll look for something that's either smaller, something that's a little calmer. We'll do everything and anything we can to try to match up, because last thing we want is for someone who's really coming in to adopt, but then leaves without adopting a pet. And it does happen. We do understand that. But our main thing is, if you're here, we're going to try to see if we can match you up, because we know your heart's already there. So if we can definitely fulfill that, then that's our game. That's the name of our game. So yes.
And so real quickly, if you can tell me, what kind of animals do you have in your shelter, and how can the public go and get more information about your event?
Yes. So right now we have probably over 200 animals, 200 dogs. We are way over capacity. We have a variety of everything. I mean, we have, I think, 3 litters of puppies. Some are little shepherd mixes, some are lab mixes. We have full-grown dogs. Every animal that we have here, when you adopt, will be spay or neutered, will be microchipped, will have all of its shots. And you'll know here in Texas, there is a heartworm. So they're caused by mosquitoes. So down south, a lot of the dogs will have heartworm, but we'll start them on a slow process. We give you all the information that you need to see, okay, well, this is what I have to do now to keep it going. And to be able to contact us, even just the shelter or the adoption event, we are on Facebook. And of course, FortBendCountyPets.com. You're able to see all of our pets that are here at the shelter, whether if you're missing something or if you're wanting to adopt. Go to your websites and all the ones that you mentioned on your end. So, I mean, we're the main county one is on there. Judge George has it on his page. So you name it. I mean, we are trying to get in everyone's spaces, at least for this adoption event. Cause I mean, we feel that we'll have over 100 pets there for adoption, and it should be a variety because there'll be 5 different shelters. So.
Excellent. Well, everybody, thank you so much, Rene Vasquez, Director of Animal Services for Fort Bend County's Health and Human Services. We'll have your info in our post of show. So thank you again for joining us. You're the best, and good luck in your event.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone.
Back to you, Shade.
All right, or back to us as we wrap out all the time with some announcements. And just, a couple things you can take part in the last part of this year, kicking things off with the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Professional Development Training. Dr. Donna Davis, the DEI officer, is hosting another WebEx focused on professional development training and certificate program series. There'll be morning and afternoon sessions on December 13th. It's hosted on WebEx. And the topic will be interrupting unconscious bias. We'll have more information posted after the show so you can join in.
Definitely. And also think like an entrepreneur, MBDA, Pandemic Recovery. The HCC's MBDA Pandemic Recovery Center is hosting a thought-provoking workshop to explore the mindset of successful entrepreneurs. David Regenbaum, HCC's entrepreneur in residence, will discuss how to plan a new venture, transition from side hustle to full-time entrepreneur, or to enhance your existing career. That's at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Wednesday, December 14th, Zoom, and it's free. So check out our post after the show to get the link to register.
All right, and we talked about it on the show, but just another reminder, graduation. The commencement ceremony is happening this Thursday, December 15th, starting at 10 a.m. Be sure to check us out the live stream at hccs.edu/live, and also follow the posts on Facebook or via the hashtag HCCGrad2022.
Okay, so guess what? Convocation is right around the corner. Next spring, convocation will be in person, so save the date. Friday, January 13th, 2023 at the University of Houston Fertitta Center. Registration, light refreshments are going to be from 9 to 10 a.m. and the program will begin at 10 a.m. Check out your emails to register or go to hccs.edu.
All right. Well, for those who are looking for a course to fulfill their U.S. History core requirement, this spring, the Mexican American History course is available. HCC students can consider this enriching course, which fulfills 3 hours of their U.S. History core requirement. The courses are available at Central, Eastside, our Central and Eastside campuses, and as well online. Check information that will be posted after the show for details.
So finally, HCC offers multiple spring sessions. So spring registration is here, as well as a winter mini session. The spring course schedule has in-person and online courses with start dates from December 2022, right now, to April 2023. Online anytime, no established class meeting times unless listed. Online on a schedule, meeting time is set, and courses meet online. Hybrid lecture class meets partially face-to-face and partially virtually, which is pretty cool. In-person, face-to-face courses with traditional meeting patterns at various campuses and locations. Hybrid lab, laboratory, and studio courses. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover cost, go to hccs.edu/apply.
All right. Thanks so much. I always like to wrap out with a reminder about what we are here for, and that's to help you reach your educational goals. We want to remind our viewers that Up to the Minute will not air for 2 days this week. That's Wednesday because of a board meeting, and during also due to the graduation ceremony on Thursday. So don't look for us at 10 a.m. on Wednesday and Thursday, but we will be live other times this week. We'll be here tomorrow for Tasty Tuesday and then back for Film Friday. Of course, we'll have some interesting HCC guests come your way as well. And all that before winter break begins next week. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. We'll see you next time.